Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Angel, el gallito de la sierra, el kikiriki, aka Crypto Keeper. I miss you all. Sorry, I haven't been posting every day like I used to. It's been crazy busy. I have not had time. I've been traveling. I've been hanging out with the family, and life is busy. So I think I'll probably just stick to doing a few videos every couple of weeks just to stay in tune with my listeners and my learners. Well, I've been a bit disappointed with crypto lately. Honestly, I don't know why the market has been very snail-like. It's been not a good couple of weeks for us all. Many of us know that crypto is volatile, but some of these coins that I expected some greater gains just didn't perform. Cardano ADA. I'm a realist. I love Cardano. I'm not selling my Cardano. I'm going to hold it for a long time. But I would have thought Cardano, with all of the great stuff that it's coming out with and that it's come out with, would have probably expected a valuation of about $3.50 to like $4, to be honest with you, by now. And it's at like $2.18. So I didn't get the predictions that I thought it would have been. Many people were predicting or speculating that Cardano ADA would have been in the $4 to $5 range by now, but it hasn't. But you know what? It's still early. I think, the year is not over yet. I really think that price could still happen before the end of the year. So that's all I have to say about ADA. One of my favorites right now is AMP. Love AMP. I love how AMP has been reacting to price movements. Bitcoin, going up and down in the lower 40,000s to the high 40,000s. It's been hovering in that low and highs for the last couple of months. And it tends to move the market with it, but really love how AMP responds to the price. There's a lot of news out there right now that Bitcoin is going to dump massively, that the whales are going to dump massively. And whether that's true or not, I guess to me, it sort of matters, and it matters in this reason. It matters because I'm ready. Remember, I've talked about being ready. You gotta be ready all the time, especially for market corrections. If you're a holder like me, there's three types of buyers or three types of investors. I'm just gonna share with the type that I am. I am the type of investor that looks for opportunity and looks for a great project that has great potential, that aims to solve something unique, okay? Now, that could mean a lot of different things. I'll give you a quick example. When Cardano, Charles Hoskinson was talking about launched ADA and talked about in his white paper of what it aimed to do, I was very intrigued. Very intrigued, because it was new. This proof of work and proof of stake difference. Ethereum, proof of work, right? Cardano, proof of stake. So this intrigued me. And the more I read into it and the more I sort of listened on it, I was just like, man, I'm going in. And I went in. I jumped in. And not to not too much time later, Cardano like jumped in price, and then it continued to grow a little bit more, and it continued to grow, and then it stayed at about $1.40 for a while, $1.40. It went to like $1.70, and then when the market all corrected, I think it might have gone a little higher than that, and then everything dropped. Everything got corrected, and then I bought more at that point because I figured, well, if Cardano touched those prices with what it had going on and it dropped by 40%, I wasn't afraid that it was going to crash, right? Like it's going to cease to exist like many people thought. And I bought a lot more. When it crashed, I bought a lot more. And I haven't bought any since $1.40, right? It went all the way to $3.20. And it's sitting at $2.18, $2.20. So a whole dollar difference. And I haven't bought any. Why? Because of the type of investor that I am. You see, I hold all of my crypto, but every year, if you look at the trends, you'll know that in the last 4 years during its quarterly cycles, you could kind of predict where crypto is going to be, whether it's going to be up or down. You could predict that based off analytics. And usually September, like August, September, they're not very good months usually for like Bitcoin or for many other altcoins. However, October, November, December tends to be very interesting. Very interesting. If you look at what happened last year with Bitcoin, look at Bitcoin and some of the altcoins. I mean, in 1 month, like in October, Bitcoin was like at 11,000. Then in December, it was at 20,000. And it just threw people back like, dang. And nobody would have predicted that in 3 months later, Bitcoin would skyrocket to like 60,000 bucks. Could you imagine, like my buddy who bought Bitcoin, he bought a couple more Bitcoin at 11,000 and then boom, 20. And he's like, dang, bro, this is fat. I like doubled my money almost. And you know what he did is he sold in December. And some investors are that type of investor. They're called traders. Okay? Buy and sell. But he missed a big opportunity when it was 64,000 because he had sold it and he didn't buy back. And now he's figuring whether he'll jump back in if it drops to like what people are predicting, 20,000. But that's on him. That's the way he trades. I am not a trader. I am an investor. I am looking at it for the long run, which means that I make money in dips, because in dips, whatever I bought it for in that dip, I can count on it 2 years later being double, maybe triple, maybe more, maybe just a little more, but it's still more. That's the kind of investor that I am. That's the kind of person that I see myself as a good investor or a smart investor. Okay, gallo? Now, what's going to happen this winter season? It's hard to predict, man. There's so much news. There's so much stuff happening in crypto, good and bad. And it's difficult to predict whether crypto is going to be 10x from where it's at right now in the next couple of weeks, or it's going to correct 50% of where it's at right now. But here's what I do know, that if Bitcoin drops substantially, like I'm not talking about 8,000, 9,000, that tends to like take the market down a little bit, and that might create an opportunity for you to buy, and you buy. I'm talking about if Bitcoin dropped by 15, 20,000 bucks, it's gonna scare the hell out of everybody. And when it does that, the market gets fearful, and the market tends to correct with it momentarily, because that's what I've seen it do. It corrects momentarily, and That's the opportunity that I jump in. I'm always, and I showed this in my last video, I'm always ready. You gotta be ready. If you're not ready with some cash on hand, you're gonna miss out. Listen to Robert Kiyosaki, the writer of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I mentioned in my last video about reading good books. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Great book. I recommend that book to anybody who's wanting to learn how to create generational wealth. Okay? Robert Kiyosaki is predicting a major real estate and stock market crash before the end of this year. But here's the thing, whether he's right or not, by the timing that he's predicting, I don't care. What I do care about, or what I do want you to know, is that there is going to be a crash. And it is going to be major. And it's going to be when we least expect it. It might not be in November, December, or before the end of this year, like Robert Kiyosaki is saying. It might be next year. It might be toward the end of next year. But I can tell you, based on everything that I've read, feeling the market, feeling what the government is doing to stimulate the economy, and why that's not healthy, the market has to crash, because this cannot be sustained forever. This debt ceiling approval that our legislators just approved is not healthy for the economy. Any economist with brains will tell you it's not healthy for us all. It's not. So here's what I did. I think about 2 months ago, I sold my primary residence. Beautiful ranch, didn't need to sell it. I owned it free and clear. And I was like, man, my wife and the kids, they were like, Dad, this is like, why are you doing this? And I said, I know I'm going to cause a little bit of I'm going to cause a little bit of turmoil on you guys, but I'm going to be ready. I was already ready with cash on hand for crypto. And I showed that in my last video. I demonstrated that in my last video. But I also want to be ready for the economic crash of real estate. Because, you see, I bought that property that I had 8 years ago in a similar situation. Depressed market conditions led to favorable buying opportunity, and I took advantage of that. I bought my ranch for pennies on a dollar, and I built a home for pennies on a dollar, because the market condition was favorable to me as a buyer, and I took advantage of that. There's nothing wrong with taking advantage of anything, as long as you take advantage of it for the right reasons and with good intentions. You're not screwing anybody over. Okay? Well, it was time for me to do the same thing again, because I'm creating wealth. A home to me is just a home. A home to me has no sentimental value, because a home to me is an opportunity to create wealth only if you take advantage of it. People that live in their homes for 15, 20, 30 years, hey, that's all good. I ain't trying to I ain't trying to knock that. That's all good, but that ain't for me. I'm 42 years old. I have bought more than 8 primary residences in the last 15 years. That works for me. That creates wealth for me. And that creates wealth in other areas that I like to invest. Again, you gotta be ready. Now, I'm not saying go inside your home. Right now, the market condition allows for the seller to take opportunity. So because the opportunity is there for me as a seller, I sold my home in 1 hour, cash buyer, for more than what I wanted. Opportunity for the seller, not for the buyer. Now I have my family living in conditions that they don't want to live in. But that's all good. That's temporary. They're used to it. They know what daddy's doing. They trust in daddy. Okay, so what am I saying? ¿Qué estoy diciendo aquí? Lo que estoy diciendo, carnal, is you gotta be listo. Ponte listo. Porque estas oportunidades cuando vienen rápido. Now, thankfully, the opportunity for the sellers has lingered a good while. And lots of people have taken advantage of that. But a lot of people that have sold have also bought. That ain't that ain't utilizing opportunity to